billionaire CEO's mute daughter smiled.
Sweetheart,
What
would you like to
secret
come out today?
did the poor girl reveal in sign language? On a
Okay,
quiet
then let's
autumn
go.
morning in Seattle, soft sunlight filtered through the towering skyscrapers spilling onto the narrow street that led to
Hello?
Pine Cafe. Daniel drove in silence, hands gripping the steering wheel, eyes never leaving his daughter Lily in the
Thank you
back seat.
for her smile.
She clutched her worn teddy bear, her gaze vacant, her lips pale, untouched by a smile for over a year. Every look from Daniel carried the weight of helplessness, a powerful CEO in the business world, yet utterly powerless when it came to his own daughter. He gently turned his head toward Lily and sighed, "Sweetheart, would you like to come out today?" There was no verbal reply, only a slight nod. But to Daniel, it was a fragile spark of hope. He lightly took her hand, feeling the faint chill of her small fingers, as if trying to pour all the warmth, safety, and love he had into her. Lily hugged her teddy bear tightly, witnessing this rare moment, a simple gesture that carried a world of trust in the future. Along the way, Daniel watched his daughter through the rearview mirror. Each subtle movement of hers felt like a small piece of the girl he knew slowly returning. No longer a ghost of a past accident, no longer a vacant gaze, but the first signs of an inner life, a desire to connect. His heart raced, a mixture of worry and hope. He knew that within hours, a fateful encounter could change everything. The cafe appeared ahead. Red brick walls aged with charm, the soft hum of the espresso machine, the gentle aroma of freshly baked pastries. Daniel stepped inside, gently guiding Lily, afraid that letting go of her hand might send her retreating back into her silent world. For the other patrons, it was an ordinary morning. But for Daniel, it was a silent battle trying to bridge the gap to his daughter. Through gestures, through glances, he sat down, placing Lily beside him, her teddy bear in her arms, speaking no words, offering only his presence and safety. And then, just when it seemed all was silent, Lily's eyes flickered with curiosity as she looked around the cafe. Daniel smiled, squeezing her hand gently, his heart filled with a strange yet comforting warmth. For the first time in a year, there was real hope that Lily might open her heart, that they could begin again. The small moments, her glance, her hand the teddy bear, became invisible threads connecting Daniel to his daughter, preparing them for the meeting that would soon change everything. Before we begin, take a moment to share your city. Where are you listening from today? And when the story concludes, don't forget to rate it from 0 to 10. Enjoy the story. Chapter 1. The Silent Daughter. On a quiet autumn morning in Seattle, sunlight streamed through the large glass windows of the high-rise apartment, spilling onto the cream-colored rug where Lily curled up. She clutched her worn teddy bear, tiny fingers gripping the frayed seams, as if it were the only thread connecting her to the world. Her long brown hair fell across her face, hiding eyes that had never smiled, still reflecting a void as deep as sorrow itself. Daniel Whitmore stood by the window, hand resting on the sill, eyes tracing the sunlight dancing across the wooden floor. He was lost in thought, heart twisted with helplessness, a man of immense power, CEO of a leading tech company, yet completely powerless before his own daughter. Every solution, every specialist, every therapy he had tried had failed. A year had passed since the accident, and Lily remained silent, a little ghost present, but not truly alive. Daniel approached her slowly, bending down voice, low and trembling. "Sweetheart, Daddy's here." He placed a gentle hand on her shoulder, trying to convey warmth and trust through each finger. But she only gave a faint shiver, neither speaking nor reacting. Her teddy bear was hugged tighter, as if shielding her from the world's pain. Daniel sighed, feeling despair seep into his heart. He remembered the day of the accident. The car had skidded uncontrollably on the slippery road, metal clashing screams piercing the rain-swept night. Emily, his wife, did not survive, and Lily, small and terrified, witnessed it all, withdrawing into silence. Daniel quietly blamed himself. If he hadn't been so consumed by work, if he had spent more time with his family. Could things have been different? But now, all that remained were painful memories and an 8-year-old girl who hadn't spoken a word for a year. He sat down beside Lily, placing his hand over hers, gently brushing the hair from her face. "Daddy won't leave you. We'll find a way, okay?" His voice trembled, but held steady resolve. Lily lifted her head slightly, her deep brown eyes searching his, as if testing the truth behind his words. A brief moment, but enough to choke Daniel's heart. He saw her doubt her fear, but also a tiny fragile glimmer of hope. Daniel recalled the countless therapy sessions, language specialists, acupuncture, meditation, music therapy. Hundreds of thousands of dollars spent hoping to find a path back to his daughter. Yet Lily remained silent, guarding her private darkness. And now, here he was, powerless before her, yet unyielding. He knew the only things left were patience, love, and hope. His gaze fell on the old toys picture books and the teddy bear Lily still hugged. Daniel lifted the bear, smoothing its worn seams, feeling every mark and stitch. "Perhaps we'll start with the simplest things," he whispered. He thought of spending time just sitting with Lily, observing, communicating through eyes gestures and tiny overlooked details. Looking at Lily, Daniel saw a figure both familiar and distant. She was still his daughter, yet trapped in a world of her own, without words or laughter, just the presence of a lonely little angel. He longed to break through the invisible wall, to reconnect even through a smile, a nod, or a small sign. One day a specialist had told him that Lily didn't need more therapies or techniques. She needed a reason to return to the world, a reason to feel joy, to open her heart to others. At first, Daniel didn't fully grasp the meaning, but now, looking at Lily, he began to understand. The path would not come from medicine or technology, but from his heart and unwavering patience. He watched her every gesture, the way her hand gripped the bear, the slight raise of an eyebrow toward the window, the soft sighs, subtle signals that adults often miss, but held her entire inner world. Daniel resolved to notice every detail, every fleeting moment, every glance. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes for a second to summon courage, then opened them to his daughter. Daniel stood, walked around the apartment, opened the windows, and inhaled the crisp autumn air. He thought about taking Lily outside, letting her see the world beyond stepping out of pain and darkness. A small cafe he had once visited with Emily came to mind, a place of laughter, the aroma of coffee and pastries and gentle human presence. He knew this would be their starting point. Returning to Lily, he gently placed his hand on her shoulder, eyes filled with determination. "Lily, Daddy will take you somewhere. Somewhere we can try again. Somewhere you can smile. She looked at him, her deep brown eyes still silent, but a raised eyebrow and a tighter grip on her teddy bear answered the unspoken promise. Daniel felt his heart race a mixture of worry and hope. In the following minutes, Daniel prepared clothes shoes and a small bag for Lily. He lifted her gently into the car seat, careful as if afraid of breaking her fragile heart. Lily sat quietly hugging her bear, gazing out the window, saying nothing. But Daniel sensed something shifting inside her, a tiny spark, like a candle ready to ignite. On the way to Pine Cafe, Daniel glanced at Lily in the rearview mirror. She remained silent, but her eyes were more focused slightly, leaning toward him, as if studying every movement. Daniel smiled softly, feeling his heart mend bit by bit. Past pain and failures receded, making room for hope. He knew that in just a few minutes, an encounter could change everything. He opened the cafe door, stepping in with Lily, holding her hand tightly. The hum of espresso machines, clattering chairs, and soft laughter of patrons filled the air. But for Daniel, all fell silent as his daughter stepped into a new world. Lily sat down her teddy bear, in hand eyes, curiously surveying her surroundings. Daniel sat beside her, placing his hand over hers, breathing gently. And then as he watched Lily, a fragile hope emerged. A thin, subtle light, but enough for Daniel to know they were about to embark on a journey of healing. He did not yet know what Sophia the barista about to appear would do, but he knew this. Once his daughter opened her heart, everything could change. This peaceful, yet tense, silent yet promising moment marked the beginning of their story. Daniel felt both helpless and determined. Lily remained silent, but had revealed the first stirrings of trust. The apartment bathed in autumn light. The teddy bear, the glances, the clasped hands, all invisible threads connecting father and daughter, preparing them for the fateful meeting at Pine Cafe. Chapter 2: The Invitation. The car rolled down the quiet streets of Seattle autumn, leaves drifting lightly in the cool breeze brushing against the windows like silent instruments stirring old memories. Daniel sat behind the wheel, glancing occasionally at the rearview mirror where Lily sat in the back. She clutched her teddy bear shoulders, slightly hunched, head-tilted eyes gazing out the window as if observing a world only she knew. Daniel sighed, gripping the steering wheel tightly, striving to remain calm. He knew that even the smallest gesture could shift Lily's mood. A word, a glance, a gentle smile, each mattered more than any deal or meeting he had ever handled. Leaning slightly forward, he tried to speak softly, his voice deep yet warm. "Sweetheart, would you like to come out with me today? Just for a little while?" Lily did not answer immediately, her small hands holding the teddy bear even tighter. The car was filled with silence, broken only by the steady hum of the engine and the faint rustle of leaves outside. Daniel felt his heart race a mixture of anxiety and hope. He knew she was still weighing the decision, and each moment was a test, the greatest challenge for a father striving to reach his daughter after such profound loss. Lily tilted her head slightly, her deep brown eyes meeting Daniel's. A few suspended seconds stretched as though time itself had paused. Daniel took her hand gently, squeezing it, trying to pour warmth, safety, and love into each tiny finger. Then finally, a small, nearly imperceptible nod, but to Daniel, It was a brilliant light, piercing through the dark. He smiled, eyes misty, feeling hope flood his heart. Daniel eased the car forward, gliding through the silent streets. He watched Lily in the rearview mirror, noticing her subtle lean toward him, a spark of curiosity in her gaze. Every breath, every tiny movement seemed to contain her entire inner world. At times, Daniel tried to break the silence with short stories about work or the ordinary happenings around the streets. His voice was gentle, never pressured. He spoke of a small cafe he had once visited with his wife, the aroma of fresh coffee, warm pastries, simple moments of happiness. Lily listened, eyes still on the passing scenery, but this time her focus seemed deeper, allowing a faint connection to the world outside. The car stopped in front of Pine Cafe, a quaint spot nestled among old red brick walls, its large windows reflecting the afternoon sun. Daniel opened the door, bending down gently to Lily. "Here we are. Shall we go in?" Lily remained silent, but her small hand rose to rest on his. Daniel took her hand, squeezing lightly, feeling warmth spread. In that moment, he knew she had opened a tiny door in her heart, enough for hope to flicker. They stepped inside, where the scent of coffee and pastries filled the air background, music blending softly with the clinking of cups. Daniel guided Lily slowly, as if any sudden movement might make her retreat into her private world. Lily sat down at the table, teddy bear in hand, eyes glancing curiously around, curious but not afraid. Daniel sat beside her, placing his hand over hers, feeling her tiny heartbeat sync with his. A few patrons glanced their way, but Daniel paid no attention. He focused solely on his daughter, on every small gesture, how she moved. Her hand tilted, her head gripped her teddy bear. Each detail was a signal, a language of the heart that Daniel had to learn. He smiled softly, inhaling deeply, bracing for the pivotal moment ahead. Daniel lifted his eyes, looking at Lily through the sunlight streaming in the window. The light highlighted her small features, each strand of hair falling softly across her face. She remained still, but her gaze had a subtle brightness, as if opening a door inside that only Daniel could see. He felt every breath, every slight movement, and in that instant, all past helplessness and fear seemed to melt away. He whispered to himself, "This is the chance, just one chance to open her heart, to rebuild the bridge we lost." Daniel placed his hand on the teddy bear in Lily's grasp, stroking it gently, as if transmitting strength and trust. Lily twitched slightly, sensing her father's warmth, and seemed to understand a wordless, meaningful message. The moment their eyes met, surrounded by the warm light and cozy atmosphere of the cafe, became the thread connecting their hearts. Daniel knew that if he remained calm, gentle, and patient, Lily would gradually open her heart. He smiled, inhaling deeply, feeling both anticipation and hope. A fateful encounter awaited, and perhaps everything could change from here. Daniel pulled his chair closer, placing his hand on hers again, pressing lightly. "Let's take it slow. We'll do this together." Lily nodded slightly once again, offering him a fragile but precious trust. Her teddy bear remained tightly hugged, but her small hand resting on her father's was a sign the silent world she had lived in was beginning to open. The surrounding sounds, the espresso machine, clinking cups, soft chatter of patrons, faded away, leaving only two people and a priceless moment. Daniel felt his heartbeat merge with his daughter's, and for the first time in months, he glimpsed the spark of true hope. They sat there in the warm afternoon light, teddy bear hands, clasped eyes locked. A new journey had begun, not with words, not with noise, but guided by heart and patience. Daniel knew that in just a few moments, a stranger, a smile, a skillful hand could make Lily truly smile, opening the door to hope and happiness. And that moment, the small nod, the exchanged gaze full of warmth, became the beginning of everything. From here, they were not just entering a cafe. They were stepping into a journey of healing, where love, patience, and hope would gradually soothe old wounds and reconnect two hearts long apart. Chapter 3. Meeting Sophia. Pine Cafe buzzed with a warm, gentle energy. The espresso machine hummed softly. Cups clinked lightly, and fingers tapping on laptop keys created a subtle rhythm, blending with the rich aroma of coffee. Afternoon sunlight streamed through the large windows, illuminating the old red brick walls with a comforting golden hue. Daniel stepped inside, Lily following behind, still clutching her teddy bear shoulders, slightly hunched eyes, scanning the cafe with a mix of caution and curiosity. He held his daughter's hand tightly, feeling her tiny heartbeat synchronize with his own. Every step forward felt measured, each one awakening emotions long dormant within him: anxiety, helplessness, and now hope. Daniel moved to a table near the window, where the light poured in, and sat down. Lily settled beside him. Teddy bear hugged tight, deep brown eyes, observing the space as if trying to predict what awaited her. From the kitchen, Sophia emerged. She wore a crisp white blouse, a cream apron, and her black hair neatly tied back. Her gaze was sharp, yet gentle, a small smile playing on her lips. As she passed Daniel and Lily's table, her eyes lingered on Lily, not with casual curiosity, not with pity, but with a perceptive, intuitive understanding that Daniel could not explain. Sophia approached the table, bending slightly to meet Lily at eye level. Her hands lifted gracefully, beginning to sign slowly and fluidly. Every movement was like a gentle dance, never forceful, merely an invitation, a doorway to a world Lily had long kept locked. Daniel froze, heart constricting. He couldn't believe that a complete stranger could create such a deep connection using only hands and eyes. Lily seemed startled, at first eyes wide, lips pressed together. But soon she began to pay attention. At first, subtle glances and small hand movements, but with each passing second, she gradually mimicked the signs Sophia made. A fleeting, gentle smile appeared on Lily's lips for the first time in a year. Daniel felt his chest tighten. Months of worry and grief converged into this delicate moment, his daughter smiling, opening the first window of trust. The surroundings faded into a soft blur. Only 3 people remained, 3 hearts beating in sync. Daniel couldn't look away, fearing that any sudden movement might shatter the fragile moment. Sophia continued signing slowly and gently, her eyes never leaving Lily, silently saying, "You are safe. No need to be afraid." For the first time, Lily was no longer completely withdrawn. Her small hands began to move in response to Sophia's signs, tentative, awkward, yet sincere. Daniel watched silently, his heart overflowing with indescribable emotion: joy, relief, gratitude. He saw his daughter begin to open herself to the world step by step, guided by a stranger he had never met. That moment, the exchanged glances, the small smiles, the little hands in motion became an invisible bridge between Lily and the world between sorrow and hope. Sophia said nothing, signing quietly. Each gesture carried meaning. Each movement was an invitation to connect. Lily watched intently, eyes sparkling with curiosity and interest. Daniel noticed every expression on his daughter's face, first confusion, then focus, and finally a tiny, genuine smile. He took a deep breath, feeling his entire being soothed by the light, by the trust, and by the quiet miracle unfolding before him. Conversations continued around them. Coffee machines hummed, but for Daniel, it all faded into the background. His attention was solely on Lily's small movements, on how Sophia guided her hands toward communication. Another smile appeared on Lily's lips, brighter and longer. Daniel felt breathless, his heart overflowing with emotion. In the next few minutes, Lily began to mimic Sophia more confidently. Her hands moved slowly, gradually syncing with the signs, eyes fixed on Sophia's lips, gently curling. Daniel sensed a subtle transformation, a rebirth in his daughter. For the first time in a year, she was responding, opening up, communicating in her own way. Daniel whispered silently to himself, feeling as though an entire year of darkness and helplessness had dissolved. He saw his daughter rediscovering a piece of herself the accident had taken. He felt immense gratitude toward Sophia, but reminded himself that no one could replace his effort, love, and patience. Sophia continued, signing unhurried and gentle, each gesture precise. Daniel noticed his daughter responding voluntarily, now no longer coerced. Lily moved her hands tentatively, then paused to look at Daniel, seeking reassurance. He nodded, smiled softly, and kept his hand over hers, pressing lightly to transmit safety and love. In that moment, Daniel realized that hope did not come from expensive therapies, but from sincere connection, from heart to heart. Lily began to smile more, her hand gestures becoming natural. Daniel could hardly believe that a stranger had accomplished what he had tried for an entire year. The cafe's atmosphere softened. Afternoon sunlight poured through the windows, reflecting off the red bricks and wooden tables, painting a warm, serene picture. Daniel sat silently, heart overflowing with happiness and deep emotion. He knew that this moment, Lily smiling for the first time, would remain etched in his memory forever. Sophia continued guiding her eyes, following Lily's hands, skillfully directing each motion. Lily began to respond one sign at a time, awkward but sincere. Daniel felt the change in his daughter. A door had opened, a new world awaited. He held her hand, squeezing gently, warmth spreading through both of them, as if all past pain and loss were slowly being healed. Then Lily laughed, a full, bright smile lighting her eyes. Daniel froze, heart-constricted tears brimming. For the first time in a year, his daughter smiled because of someone else, because of a stranger's hand, a sincere heart without pressure. He felt hope return, a brilliant light, chasing away the darkness that had lingered for so long. Daniel exhaled and smiled, filled with gratitude and joy. He looked at Sophia, saying nothing, yet his gaze conveyed everything: appreciation, amazement, and faith in a new beginning. Lily continued, signing her smile, spreading wider eyes, sparkling with excitement. That moment, the glances, the smiles, the hand gestures, marked a turning point, beginning a journey of healing, not only for Lily, but also for Daniel. He understood that love, patience, and genuine gestures could overcome any barrier, mend every wound, and create miracles that no technology or therapy could achieve. For Daniel, Pine Cafe was no longer just an ordinary cafe. It had become a place of magic where his daughter began to reclaim her voice, an inner world where three hearts beat together to the rhythm of love, patience, and hope. Chapter 4. First Connection. Afternoon. Sunlight streamed softly through the large windows of Pine Cafe, casting warm streaks across the wooden tables, reflecting off the red brick walls and sunlit glass. The cafe's bustling atmosphere softened, leaving only the gentle hum of the espresso machine, the clinking of cups, and the rhythmic footsteps of passing patrons. But for Daniel, Lily, and Sophia, the outside world seemed to fade away, making room for a magical moment where two souls were about to meet. Lily still sat there, hugging her worn teddy bear, but with a subtle difference. Her eyes now sparkled with curiosity, focused intently on Sophia's hands. Daniel stood nearby, eyes misty, careful not to make any movement that might interrupt this important moment. He knew that for the first time in over a year, his daughter was truly opening up and ready to connect, and this would become the foundation for all the steps to come in her life. Sophia smiled gently, her hands moving slowly and gracefully, like a soft dance, just enough for Lily to imitate without feeling pressured. Daniel watched heart-tight every motion from Sophia, like an invisible miracle, each sign opening a door in his daughter's heart. Lily gradually reached out, copying each gesture, awkward but sincere. Each movement made her eyes widen, catching the light sparkling in her deep brown eyes, making Daniel feel as though his entire heart was melting. "Take it slow. No need to rush," Sophia whispered softly, almost just for Lily to hear. Daniel drew a deep breath, watching his daughter closely. He noticed every breath she took, every tiny hand movement, every fleeting expression on her face. And then for the first time, Lily smiled truly, not awkwardly, not tentatively, but a genuine smile blooming from deep within her soul. Daniel froze, heart constricting. All the pain, all the months of helplessness converged into this single moment. His daughter was opening up, communicating, rediscovering herself. He witnessed the first connection, a delicate, invisible bridge between Lily and Sophia, between sorrow and hope. Lily continued to mimic the signs this time, faster, more naturally. Sophia guided each motion skillfully, eyes never leaving Lily, full of patience and gentle encouragement. Daniel realized that hope was not only in Lily responding to the signs, but in her choice to open herself, to engage, to connect. For the first time in a year, he felt his daughter coming back to life in small, miraculous pieces, and he was there to witness it. Moments passed, and Daniel saw Lily coordinating her hands more deftly, her signs flowing more smoothly, eyes brightening, her smile becoming natural. He drew a deep breath, feeling a surge of trust and hope in his chest. All the months of worry and disappointment were compensated by this fragile yet powerful moment. He saw his daughter not only opening up to Sophia, but to life itself, to hope, and to the future. Sophia continued, signing gently and patiently, each motion precise and fluid. Daniel realized that not only was Lily learning from Sophia, but he was also learning to be patient, to listen with his heart, to see the world from a new perspective. He silently thanked Sophia, not just for helping Lily, but for opening a door to his own heart as well. Lily's signs became quicker, more decisive. Daniel watched her smile, her brown eyes sparkling with excitement, her grin radiating like the afternoon sun streaming through the cafe windows. He felt the beginning of a healing journey emerging from this single glance, this small hand, this smile, all weaving an invisible bridge between his daughter and the outside world. Daniel bent slightly, placing his hand over Lily's, pressing lightly to transmit trust and safety. Lily glanced at him, her deep brown eyes conveying faith. And for the first time, Daniel saw his daughter actively sharing a part of herself, even if only through eye contact and hand gestures. He could not hold back tears, but instead smiled, feeling the healing energy spread through the space. The connection between Lily and Sophia became a silent symphony music of synchronized hearts. Daniel realized that true hope did not come from any therapy or technology, but from genuine heart-to-heart connection, from patience, from a guiding hand, and an understanding gaze. Lily laughed loud, her eyes shining brightly, her signs flowing more smoothly. Daniel felt every tiny heartbeat of his daughter merge with his own, a rhythm of love, trust, and hope. Sophia looked at Lily, smiling and gently nodding, affirming that this moment was the beginning of a long journey where Lily would reclaim her voice, her joy, and her connection with the world. Daniel silently vowed this was more than a sign language lesson. This was a miracle, a milestone in the life of his daughter and their family. From this moment on, every next step, from the first signs, the smiles to the words spoken in the future, would be built on love, patience, and trust. The cafe continued its gentle hum, but Daniel no longer noticed the outside sounds. He focused entirely on Lily, on Sophia, on this historic moment, his daughter opening her heart and connecting for the first time. Every sign, every smile, every glance became a building block, bridging past pain with future hope. Lily continued signing, smiling naturally, eyes sparkling. Daniel stood there, heart tight, feeling a joy he had thought he could never find. He knew that this moment, Lily's first true smile, would change everything, marking the start of a healing journey, bringing hope to the family, and preparing for the encounters that would shape Lily's life. For Daniel, Pine Cafe was no longer just an ordinary cafe. It had become a magical place where Lily began reclaiming her voice, an inner world where love, patience, and hope beat in rhythm with three hearts, Daniel, Lily, and Sophia. This moment of connection became a landmark, opening a journey of healing, not only for Lily, but also for Daniel. He understood that love and patience could overcome any barrier, heal every wound, and create miracles that no therapy could ever provide. And as Lily smiled, signed, and her eyes gleamed brightly, Daniel knew that a new chapter had begun, a chapter of hope, faith, and love, where they would walk together, one meaningful step at a time. Chapter 5. Growing Bond. Pine Cafe was no longer just an ordinary cafe. For Daniel and Lily, it had become a sacred space where small steps, awkward signs, and simple smiles wove a new rhythm of life for father and daughter. Every afternoon after school, Lily eagerly ran to their familiar table near the window, teddy bear in hand, eyes shining with excitement. Daniel often followed, but no longer as the worried, tense father he had once been. He sat quietly, observing her every gesture, every smile, every changing expression. Sophia always stood nearby, gently guiding each hand movement. She never rushed or pressured, only carefully watched and adjusted when necessary. Every sign Lily performed, whether clumsy or imperfect, was met with Sophia's smile and encouraging nod. Daniel watched, heart overflowing with gratitude. He realized that it was Sophia's patience and dedication that allowed Lily to gradually open herself to the world, to regain the trust that the accident had taken. As time passed, Lily improved little by little. At first, only simple signs, awkward hand movements. But with each session, she grew more confident, more decisive, and her smiles became natural. Daniel sat beside her, eyes sparkling with pride, though he could not hide his emotions. He felt that this progress was more than skill. It was the rebirth of his daughter. She was reclaiming her inner voice, not through sound, but through her gaze, her gestures, her heart. These sessions at Pine Cafe became a daily ritual. Lily would arrive, sit at the table, teddy bear beside her, eyes focused on Sophia. Daniel sat nearby, pretending to be busy with work, but in reality, he observed every small step. Sophia guided Lily in signing words like, "Hello, thank you," "Cupcake, teddy bear," "Dad," each word, a key unlocking new communication, a bridge reconnecting Lily to the world. One afternoon, golden sunlight streaming through the window, Daniel watched Lily confidently sign the word "Dad" to Sophia, then turned to him, her eyes shining. He felt his heart melt. No longer the silent, timid child she was growing, actively participating, coming back to life in pieces. He whispered softly, "You're doing so well. Daddy is so proud of you." Lily smiled, eyes twinkling, as if understanding his words without needing sound. The bond between Lily and Sophia deepened. Sophia was more than a sign language teacher. She was a friend, a guide, a companion. She shared little stories and everyday experiences, sometimes tales of her own childhood in Mendoza, Argentina, of her grandmother who taught her to experience the world through eyes and hands. Lily listened, eyes wide, lips parting in delight, fully captivated. Daniel watched, heart full of gratitude and emotion. He realized Sophia was not just teaching signs, she was opening a whole new world for his daughter. Through these sessions, Daniel noticed a change in himself too. He checked his phone less, thought less about work, and spent more time observing, feeling, and communicating through eyes and gestures with his daughter. He began to understand that love was not just words. It was presence, patience, and the willingness to listen with one's whole heart. One day, Lily confidently signed "Cupcake," then touched Sophia's hand and beamed. Sophia responded with a gentle smile, tapping her lightly on the shoulder. Daniel stood nearby, eyes misty. He knew that each small sign was a victory, a meaningful step in his daughter's healing journey. Every smile, every response reinforced his hope that all the effort, all the months of helplessness were finally bearing fruit. Afternoons at Pine Cafe passed quietly, but meaningfully. Daniel watched Lily gradually grow confident, open up, and saw himself changing alongside her. He was no longer a father defined by worry and helplessness, but a patient, present guide, ready to learn alongside his daughter. Sophia remained nearby, guiding and encouraging, gentle and attentive, without pressure. The moment Lily first signed a full sentence, eyes meeting Daniel and Sophia smiling brightly, became a turning point. Daniel felt profound happiness, gratitude overflowing in his heart. He realized that Pine Cafe was more than a place to learn signs. It was a place to build trust, love, and hope. Each session was a piece of a puzzle, bridging past wounds and a bright future. Daniel even began telling stories to Lily, using gestures and eye contact, creating moments of communication without words. Lily gradually responded, smiling, signing, forming a continuous flow among the three of them, Daniel, Lily, and Sophia. This bond was not only healing for Lily, but also for Daniel, the father, who had once been powerless, the man who had sunk into grief and solitude. The smiles, the signs, the little stories all became a daily rhythm, reinforcing hope and family love. Daniel realized that patience, presence, and genuine love were the strongest forces of all. Pine Cafe, with the aroma of coffee warm light and Sophia's gentle guidance, had become a place of miracles. Lily was coming back to life, opening her heart, and Daniel was learning to love more deeply than ever before. Every small step, every awkward sign, every smile, each was a brick building, an emotional bridge guiding Lily back to life, and teaching Daniel that true happiness does not lie in work, money, or power, but in love, patience, and fully being present with the ones you cherish. And when the session ended, Lily ran to hug her teddy bear eyes, shining at Daniel with a radiant smile. Daniel smiled back, seeing in her gaze the promise of the future hope and a family bond steadily strengthened through signed smiles and warm glances at Pine Cafe. Chapter 6: External Pressure. The next day, the warm atmosphere at Pine Cafe seemed overshadowed by an undercurrent of tension. Daniel received a call from the office, but before he could answer, the apartment door swung open. Margaret, his mother, entered. She moved with elegant authority, eyes, sharp leather handbag in hand, heels clicking against the wooden floor like an alarm bell. "Daniel, we need to talk." Margaret said, her voice cold, firm, yet filled with unmistakable power. Daniel took a deep breath, standing silently as he regarded her. He knew his mother had always been strict, always placing family image and social standing above all else. But he was ready now, no longer hesitant to protect his daughter, to defend his heart and choices. Lily stood near the doorway, hugging her teddy bear eyes wide with curiosity and a hint of worry. Daniel gently stepped over and placed a hand on her shoulder. "Sweetheart, stay here." Lily nodded, looking at her father before retreating to a corner, still watching everything unfold. Margaret began, her tone sharp as a blade. "What are you thinking?" "Daniel, dating a girl, a baker, who can't hear properly and has a complicated past. Don't you care about the family image, about your career?" Daniel felt a pang in his chest. Pressure from his mother, from society, from the media, it all seemed to close in around him. But this time, he did not falter. He drew a deep breath and looked Margaret in the eye. "Mom, Sophia isn't the problem. She helped Lily. Lily is smiling again after a year of silence. I can't ignore that just because of appearances." Margaret frowned, voice colder. "Daniel, you don't understand. If people find out, the media will exploit it. Investors will pull back. Our family will be talked about. Lily needs a perfect family model, not an outsider with a difficult past." Daniel felt blood rush through him. He stepped closer, voice deep but strong. "Mom, a perfect image won't save her from pain. Sophia gave Lily hope, something hundreds of experts couldn't do. I will not abandon her because of prejudice or social pressure." Margaret was silent for a moment, eyes probing. Daniel knew she was weighing her words, yet he also knew she was not ready to accept his choice. That silence felt heavy, a scale pressing down on his shoulders. At that moment, the phone rang. Jason, his co-founder, called. "Daniel, we need to talk about the PR campaign. The media has caught wind. Articles are spreading about your relationship. Sophia. Investors are concerned." Daniel inhaled deeply, eyes on Lily, playing quietly with her teddy bear in the corner. He saw her smile eyes lighting up with a glimmer of hope. In that instant, he knew what mattered most. He answered Jason, "I understand, but we'll handle that later. My daughter and Sophia are more important than any pressure." Jason exhaled, voice hesitant. "Daniel, this could seriously affect the company, but I understand. We'll support you, though you must be prepared." Margaret turned to Daniel, eyes stern. "Do you really realize what you're doing? A father must protect his child, yet you're putting her in a complicated situation. Sophia isn't just a baker. Everything surrounding her, her past, the biases, it will affect Lily." Daniel replied, steady and resolute, "Mom, Lily needs someone who truly understands and loves her. Not everyone has the patience or love to heal her heart. Sophia does. I cannot turn my back on that." Hearing the strength in her father's voice, Lily stepped forward slightly, holding Daniel's hand. Her eyes met Margaret's, but this time without fear, without silence. She said quietly, but firmly, "She makes me happy." Daniel looked at his daughter, eyes brimming, heart full of pride and gratitude. Margaret furrowed her brow, remaining silent for a long moment, realizing Daniel's resolve would not waver. Yet social pressure, media scrutiny, and investor concerns still loomed. Daniel knew this was only the first step in a series of challenges ahead. But in that moment, he also knew that hope did not come from image or power. It came from love, patience, and genuine connection. Sophia had brought a smile back to Lily. He would protect that regardless of pressure, prejudice, or media scrutiny. Daniel pulled Lily into his arms, feeling her tiny heartbeat merge with his own. He whispered, "We'll get through this, sweetheart. As long as we believe in each other." Lily looked up at him, her eyes shining with hope. Daniel knew that no matter the difficulties in the world outside the afternoons at Pine Cafe, the signs, the smiles, they would form the strength they needed to face everything together. In the tense silence, a surge of emotion rose, conflict of wealth and status, social pressure, media scrutiny, prejudice. But Daniel knew the most important thing was family, his daughter's heart and faith in Sophia, the one who had opened a door to healing. From that moment on, Daniel resolved that no one could shake his decision. No matter Margaret's doubts, no matter the media's scrutiny, no matter investor concerns, he would protect his family, defend love, and safeguard the hope Sophia had planted in Lily's heart. Chapter 7. Sophia's Dilemma. A quiet afternoon bathed Pine Cafe in soft golden light streaming through the windows and casting warm streaks across the wooden tables and floor. Daniel sat at their usual table, hand resting lightly on a stack of work files, yet his eyes never left Sophia and Lily. Sophia stood near the counter, quietly polishing glasses, her gaze fixed outside the window. Calm in appearance, but heavy with thoughts. She knew this relationship, though beautiful and meaningful, was placing Daniel, and especially Lily, under social and media pressure. She sighed, setting the cloth down, eyes flicking toward Lily, who was intently watching. Sophia told herself, I can't be the reason she gets hurt. I can't let my worries drag this family into trouble. With that in mind, she decided leaving would be best, at least to protect Lily from unnecessary disruption. Daniel watched Sophia, sensing the uncertainty in her eyes. He knew she was struggling with her decision. He smiled gently, but said nothing, simply observing. He trusted that Sophia had valid reasons, yet his heart did not want to lose her, the one who had opened the door to communication and hope for his daughter. Carefully, Sophia lifted her bag and stepped away from the counter, preparing to leave the cafe. Lily, sitting at the table, saw her move. She had never seen Sophia leave, and a flicker of fear surged within her. Without thinking, Lily jumped down from her chair and ran to Sophia, grasping her hand tightly, eyes brimming with tears, her innocent yet resolute voice, "She's my friend. Don't go." Daniel froze. The cafe seemed to fall silent, leaving only soft breathing and the tension of pounding hearts. Sophia looked down at the small hand, feeling the firm grip, the absolute trust Lily placed in her. Tears welled in her eyes as she bent down, meeting Lily's determined yet innocent gaze. She whispered, voice trembling, "Lily, I don't want to hurt you." Lily did not let go. Her eyes stayed fixed on Sophia, silently conveying that she needed her, could not lose the patient's love and hope Sophia had brought. Daniel stepped forward, placing a hand on Lily's shoulder, eyes, sending a message to Sophia. "We don't have to be apart. She needs to stay for you, for us." Sophia exhaled and slowly sat down at the table, placing her hand over Lily's. Tears streamed down her cheeks, yet a gentle smile remained. She knew Lily needed her more than ever, and stepping away now would shatter the trust and hope the girl had just reclaimed. Daniel sat down, looking at Sophia, voice low but warm. "Sophia, she needs you. I need you too. We'll get through this together." His eyes conveyed determination, love, and gratitude. Sophia looked quietly at Daniel, realizing that his words were not just words. They spoke through his gaze, his heart, and his resolve to protect his family and his daughter's happiness. Lily gave a small smile, still holding Sophia's hand, eyes full of safety and trust. "Please, stay," she said, combining clumsy yet heartfelt signs. Sophia bent down, lightly kissed Lily's forehead, feeling the strength of a child's faith, a power strong enough to keep her there, knowing that challenges lay ahead. In that moment, Daniel felt a surge of emotion. He understood that love, patience, and trust could overcome any pressure, any prejudice, any difficulty from the outside world. Pine Cafe was no longer just a place to learn signs. It had become a place of miracles, where Lily reclaimed her voice, where Sophia became a bridge between past pain and future hope, and where Daniel learned to love more deeply, more patiently. Sophia looked at Lily, gentle smile on her lips, hands still resting on the girl's. She felt a warmth that was hard to describe. She knew staying was the right choice, not just for Lily, but also for herself and Daniel. She smiled at them both, and in that gaze was an unspoken promise to always be patient, always present, always walk alongside them, no matter the challenges ahead. Daniel held Sophia's hand, eyes meeting Lily's. 3 people, 1 little girl, reclaiming hope, a father protecting his family, and a woman bringing miracles, sat together at Pine Cafe, sunlight streaming through the windows. The worries of the outside world momentarily fading as love, trust, and healing began to spread. The moment Lily held Sophia's hand, tightly unwilling to let go, became a moving highlight, a gentle climax of the story. It was not just a connection between child and adult, but a testament that trust, patience, and genuine love can overcome all prejudice, all pressure, and bring true happiness. Chapter 8. Lily Speaks. Soft golden afternoon. Light streamed through the large windows of Pine Cafe, reflecting off the wooden tables and casting warm streaks that seemed to embrace the three people sitting together, Daniel, Sophia, and Lily. The normally bustling cafe had quieted, leaving only the gentle rustle of cups, the footsteps of passing patrons, and the steady rhythm of breaths. In that space, time seemed to slow, making room for a miracle about to unfold. Lily sat in her chair, teddy bear beside her eyes, focused intently on Sophia, who guided her through the signs. Her hands moved slowly, clumsily, but with determination. Each gesture was an effort, a step toward breaking the wall of silence that had surrounded her for 2 years. Daniel sat close eyes, misty heart tight, feeling every small heartbeat of his daughter merge with his own. He knew this moment was more important than any work or project. Sophia smiled gently, guiding Lily's hands with patience and care. "Take it slow. Focus on each sign," she whispered softly, just enough for Lily to hear and concentrate. Daniel didn't look away, standing nearby, silently witnessing his daughter's progress. He saw a glimmer of hope in Lily's eyes, a fragile but radiant excitement. Cupcake Lily, signed hands, clumsy but correct. Sophia nodded, smiling. Lily turned to Daniel, eyes shining, lips curling into a small smile. Daniel felt his heart tighten, knowing these signs were more than a game. They were a bridge reconnecting her to the world and the emotions that had been locked away for so long. Sophia continued, guiding her hands, moving gracefully, eyes following every motion. "Hello, Sophia," signed, looking directly at Lily as if saying, "It's okay. You can try." Lily hesitated, then lips parted to produce a soft, trembling sound, almost a whisper. "H. Hello." Daniel froze, chest tightening. The cafe fell silent, every sound fading. Lily had spoken. 2 years of silence, 2 years of darkness, vanished in a single word. Sophia drew a deep breath, tears streaming, bending down to place a hand on Lily's shoulder, smiling gently. "Hello, Lily," Daniel whispered, voice choked. He could not hold back tears, hugging her tightly. Lily's small smile trembled on her lips, eyes bright with joy and newfound confidence. Her hand signs continued, now accompanied by a soft, shaky but clear voice. Thank you," she said, signing simultaneously so Sophia could understand. Sophia embraced Lily, feeling her strength and perseverance. "You did it. You spoke," she whispered, voice trembling but filled with happiness. Lily laughed, eyes shining, signing and speaking each word clumsy but sincere. Daniel stood nearby, tears streaming, heart overflowing with gratitude. He knew this moment was more than Lily speaking. After 2 years, it symbolized rebirth, love, and hope that had never faded. Lily continued experimenting with words and phrases, hand signing as her voice whispered clearly. "I like Sophia," she said, signing at the same time. Daniel choked up, bending down to hug the 2 most important girls in his life. Sophia, too, eyes glistening, felt pride and joy overwhelm her. The next minutes flowed like an endless stream of emotion. Lily spoke more words, signed each sentence eyes, following Sophia and Daniel's smiles blooming across her face. Daniel realized that Pine Cafe, once just an ordinary cafe, had now become a living miracle where hope was reborn, where love, patience, and trust transcended all barriers. A small story emerged. Lily signed and spoke simultaneously. "Papa, help me bake." Daniel laughed through his tears, holding her close. Sophia smiled gently, stroking Lily's soft brown hair, feeling the love and trust the girl placed in both of them. Each sign, each word, each smile became a powerful bridge, healing the deepest wounds of all three hearts. Daniel watched quietly, thinking, "I've lived too long under work pressure, in the grief of losing my wife, and now my daughter has found her voice. Love, patience, and presence are the real miracles." Sophia whispered to Daniel, "Look at her. She's alive in every sense." Daniel nodded, tears streaming, heart overflowing with gratitude. He knew that Lily was not only speaking, but communicating with her whole heart, through signs, through her gaze, and through her smiles, all blending into a healing song that soothed every past pain. The moment Lily spoke, signed and smiled with Sophia, and Daniel became the story's climax, where faith, hope, and love converged. Daniel held the two most important girls in his life. Sophia smiled through her tears, and Lily, for the first time in 2 years, experienced the world through voice, hands, heart, and eyes. Pine Cafe felt peaceful, the warm afternoon light illuminating the three of them, reflecting pure happiness. Daniel realized that all the challenges, pressures, and fears had become irrelevant. The only thing that mattered was love, patience, and the miracle of presence and trust. Lily continued speaking, signing and smiling, and for the first time, all three shared a perfect moment, a moment where tears, laughter, and hearts in harmony formed a healing song. Daniel whispered, holding both, "We'll always be together." "Always." Sophia nodded, eyes sparkling with joy. Lily smiled, eyes bright, signing love, as she simultaneously spoke the word. And in the warm afternoon light, amidst the aroma of coffee and pastries, three people, wounded, grieving, and fearful, found a shared rhythm, the rhythm of love, hope, and healing. Pine Cafe, the birthplace of all miracles, now bore witness to the greatest turning point. Lily had found her voice. Sophia remained to guide her, and Daniel had learned to love more deeply than ever before. Chapter 9. Choosing Family. Daniel's office was bathed in cold artificial light, filled with bulletin boards, contract files, and computer screens flashing business reports, calls, and emails from the media and investors poured in, alerting him to articles and rumors about his relationship with Sophia, the woman who had brought a miracle into his daughter Lily's life. Investors worried that the company's image might be affected, that his reputation could be at risk, and that new projects could be delayed. Daniel gazed out the office window, where the afternoon light spread across the bustling city of Seattle. His heart was heavy, but he no longer felt lost or afraid. He thought of Lily, who had found her voice, smiled, and rediscovered hope and trust in life. He thought of Sophia, who had patiently loved his daughter and helped the family find a bridge between pain and hope. Jason entered, concern etched on his face. "Daniel, what are you really planning? The media is digging. Investors are threatening to pull out. If we continue supporting Sophia, everything could collapse." Daniel turned to him, voice deep and resolute. Jason, I am not abandoning my daughter. I am not abandoning Sophia. I choose family. I choose love and trust. If the company is affected, we'll handle it. But the most important thing right now is protecting the people I love. Jason fell silent, recognizing Daniel's determination. He understood that this time, Daniel was speaking not just with reason, but with heart, with resolve, and deep love. Daniel moved to his desk, opened his laptop, launched the video conference software, and decided to hold a brief press briefing. Company staff gathered curious and slightly anxious. Daniel stood looking directly into the camera voice, warm yet commanding. Hello everyone, I'm Daniel Whitmore. Today, I want to speak about the most important thing in my life family. I am not only a CEO, I am Lily's father, and I am fortunate to have met Sophia, a wonderful woman who helped my daughter find her voice and her trust again. I choose my family, and I will not allow any pressure to change that. The room fell silent for a few seconds, followed by murmurs, but Daniel remained steadfast. He continued, "The company may face challenges, but I believe the greatest value is not profit or reputation. It is protecting relationships, love, and hope. Sophia is not just a baker. She is the one who brought a miracle to my daughter, the bridge between pain and happiness. I will protect her, and I will protect Lily." Daniel took a deep breath, eyes fixed on the camera, filled with determination and love. If anyone disagrees, I respect their opinion, but I will not back down. I will not let any pressure steal the most important things in life. My family is my top priority, and I will fight to keep it safe. In the meeting room, colleagues, reporters, and even investors were silent. Daniel knew he was under immense pressure, but he also recognized that honesty and love were stronger than any prejudice or social pressure. After the press briefing, Daniel returned home. Pine Cafe remained warm and welcoming. Lily played with her teddy bear eyes sparkling with joy. Sophia stood near the counter, watching the father and daughter with a gentle smile and warm gaze. Daniel stepped forward, hugging Lily, then taking Sophia's hand. The three stood together, bathed in afternoon light, feeling a love and bond that had overcome every external pressure. Daniel silently vowed that no matter how the world judged, no matter the media's scrutiny, no matter the investors' concerns, he would protect his family. This decision was not just about protecting feelings. It was an act of integrity and fairness, safeguarding trust, love, and the miracle Sophia had brought to his daughter. In this moment, Daniel, Sophia, and Lily stood together as a testament to the power of love, overcoming all pressures. Daniel smiled, tears streaming, heart overflowing with gratitude and happiness. Sophia placed a hand on Lily's, gently stroking her hair, smiling warmly. Lily beamed, eyes shining with trust and joy. Daniel knew this choice, choosing family, choosing love, choosing trust, was the most important turning point of his life. No reputation or profit could compare to the happiness of seeing his daughter smile, seeing those he loved safe and content. And in the warm afternoon light, amidst the rhythm of Pine Cafe, Daniel, Sophia, and Lily shared a profound connection, unshakable hope, and love that transcended all prejudice, a living proof that family is built not only by blood, but by the choice to love, protect, and accompany each other. This moment marked the story's climax. Daniel chose family. Sophia stayed to support Lily, and Lily experienced complete love, safety, and hope. All external pressures, all whispers of gossip, had no power over the love and resolve to protect what mattered most. Chapter 10: Healing and New Beginning. Time passed, and Seattle basked in a warm autumn morning. Trees had turned brilliant shades of gold leaves, drifting gently on the breeze, carrying the scent of change. Sweet Roots Bakery, the small bakery Sophia had opened, had become a familiar place for Lily Daniel and the local community. It was more than a bakery. It was a space filled with love, healing, and sweet stories of people who had once experienced pain. Lily stepped inside, clutching her familiar teddy bear, eyes brighter than ever. She walked confidently, beaming, greeting Sophia with both words and signs. "Good morning, Sophia," Lily said, hands moving gracefully with each gesture. Sophia smiled, touched Lily's hand gently, and replied with a warm smile. "Good morning, Lily. Ready to bake." Daniel stood near the counter preparing tea for customers, eyes never leaving the two most important women in his life. He watched his daughter and his love, feeling complete happiness. Lily had changed, no longer shy, no longer silent, but full of energy, confidence, and joy. Daniel saw his daughter's growth, recognizing that her smile was the result of love, patience, and hope they had nurtured together. The morning flowed with laughter and the aroma of fresh pastries. Lily helped Sophia prepare ingredients, mix dough, press molds, and guide the younger customers step by step with signs. Sweet Roots was not just a bakery. It had become a little classroom where Lily acted as a bridge between the hearing and deaf community. Every smile, every gesture, every sign carried a message of love and connection. Daniel watched them, heart overwhelmed with joy. He recalled the days of silence, months of helplessness, and felt boundless gratitude seeing his daughter speak, interact, and thrive. Sophia looked at Daniel with a gentle, warm smile, sensing the love not only between herself and Daniel, but also between herself and Lily, a love that had healed every wound. On another afternoon, Daniel's private garden was decorated with warm yellow lights, blooming lavender, and small tables for Lily's 10th birthday party. Her friends, both hearing and deaf, gathered playing games, decorating cupcakes, and sharing short stories in sign language. Lily stood on a small wooden stage, holding a microphone, greeting everyone verbally and simultaneously signing, "Hello everyone, welcome to my birthday." The laughter and eyes of the children echoed back, blending with the rhythm of happiness. Daniel stood below, holding Sophia's hand, eyes misty. Everything was worth it. Every hardship, every pressure, every social expectation pales in comparison to this moment. Sophia smiled, placing her hand over Daniel's, and together they watched Lily shine in the afternoon light amidst laughter and complete joy. Lily ran to hug Sophia, placing her small hand on her belly, reminding them that a new family member was on the way. "I'll teach the baby early," she said, signing and speaking with a radiant smile. Sophia laughed, feeling immense joy and responsibility overflowing with love. Daniel embraced both, taking a deep breath, feeling happiness fill every cell, every breath. Sweet Roots Bakery had become a symbol of their story, a place where love, patience, and trust transform pain into miracles, where Lily learned to love and be loved, where Sophia proved that limitations never define a person's worth. Daniel realized that happiness did not come from status, money, or fame, but from the choice to love and accompany those one cherishes. The story ended in the glow of sunset as Daniel, Sophia, and Lily stood hand in hand in the garden, looking at each other and the world. An imperfect family not defined by wealth, power, or convention, but complete in love, care, and trust. The message was clear. Love does not discriminate between rich or poor voice, or silence limitation or ability. Love, patience, and trust are the true miracles that heal every heart. Daniel smiled genuinely, tears of joy streaming down. Sophia gently hugged Lily, who laughed with bright, hopeful eyes. The three stood together, not perfect, but choosing love, choosing presence, choosing family. They needed no approval from the outside world, only trust, love, and each other. Sweet Roots Bakery rang with laughter, conversation, and clinking cups, a gentle symphony of healing hope and love, transcending all prejudice. Lily had grown, Sophia was happy, Daniel was at peace, and their story concluded with an embrace, a smile, and the warm golden light of autumn in Seattle. Finally, Pine Cafe, Sweet Roots Bakery, and Daniel's Garden were more than settings, they were living proof of a journey of healing, from lost silence and helplessness to hope, trust, and complete love. And through the conscious choice to love and be present, the three had created a true family, not through biology or society, but through the heart. The garden glowed with sunset light, warm yellow lights hanging everywhere, lavender in bloom, children's laughter filling the space. Lily stood on a small stage among friends, both hearing and deaf, holding a microphone and smiling brightly. She began, "Hello everyone, welcome to my birthday," signing simultaneously for those who needed to watch. The scene shimmered golden light mingling with laughter, Daniel's proud eyes, and Sophia's gentle, teary smile. They looked at each other, knowing all past pain, hardships, and silence had been healed. Lily spoke and signed each word, her gaze shining with faith and joy. Daniel stepped forward, placing his hand on Sophia's, squeezing gently, a silent but meaningful message. They had overcome every pressure, every prejudice, and choosing family was what mattered most. Sophia smiled, touched Lily's hand, and watched her shine confidently. Lily ran around the garden, sharing smiles and small cupcakes with friends, signing thank you and love to each, filling the space with warmth and affection. Daniel watched quietly, breathing a sigh of relief, heart full of peace, happiness, and gratitude. The message was clear. Love heals, family is a choice, and trust knows no bounds. Three people, one chosen family, had transformed pain into miracles, and now basked in warm light, complete love, and true happiness. Before we finish, comment your city and rate 0 to 10. Don't forget to subscribe and click for more inspiring stories. The scene ended with Lily beaming, Sophia hugging her Daniel, watching the two sunset, bathing the garden in golden light. A family complete, healed, and overflowing with hope.